How's it going, everyone? This is the Jose Show. I hope everyone's having a fantastic Tuesday. Well, it is a pretty sunny and nice day today, and that's how I like it. Well, anywho, we have a lot of hot tea to spill, so now let's get started, shall we? Alrighty then, now let's get started with Jada Pinkett Smith. As we all know, Jada Pinkett Smith was involved in a controversial incident that happened a few weeks ago over at the Oscars. Well, apparently Jada Pinkett Smith's Red Table Talk returns after Oscar slap incident. Alrighty then. So, the ladies are back for another star-studded season of Red Table Talk, which is starring Jada Pinkett Smith, Willow Smith, and Adrienne Banfield Morris. And they return for the 5th season of their acclaimed Facebook Watch talk show on Wednesday, and welcoming celebrity guests and more for candid conversations on tough topics. Well, today the show dropped the trailer for its upcoming installment, highlighting the famous faces and serious discussions coming up with the trio of women. Well, the new season kicks off with a trailblazing global superstar Janelle Monae as she opens up about her journey to come out at the age of 32, as well as the trauma she experienced from her father's drug addiction. The Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter and LGBTQIA+ icon will be joined by her mom, Janet Hawthorne, who reveals she's a big fan of the Facebook Watch series. Well, that's pretty cool. Well, anywho, Oscar-winning actress Kim Basinger will also be on the show alongside her daughter Ireland Baldwin in her first interview in over a decade. And then the trailer also highlights an appearance from the mother of the late Miss USA, Cheslie Kryst, detailing her heartbreak after her daughter tragically died by suicide early this year. The video shows a brief look at Season 5's other guests, including an episode with the Smith siblings Willow, Jaden, and Trey, leading their first solo episode together as a group. Alright, well, this is what I think is going to happen in the new season of Red Table Talk. I think that this new season is going to be one of the most historical seasons and one of the most interesting seasons of the show, because it's going to be talking about the incident that happened between Will Smith and Chris Rock. And that for sure is going to bring up the ratings a lot. Now, a lot of people, they want to hear what's going on, why Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, and how it happened, and how Will Smith felt afterwards after the slap, and how Chris Rock felt, and how Jada Pinkett Smith felt after the slap as well, and how she felt when Chris Rock was calling her out for her hair condition and so forth. Now, I think that a lot of people are going to literally want to know all of these things, which is the reason to why the ratings are definitely going to go up. Now, I also think that the fact that she is going to react and the fact that she is going to be expressing so much about this incident is going to also be one of the favorite things that people want to know of, because come on now, we all want to see what Jada Pinkett Smith's reaction is. We all want to see how she's going to if she's going to be pissed, if she's going to be happy, if she's going to be sad about it, or whatnot, you know? And then also we want to see what Will Smith has to in reaction to this. I mean, we already know that he was already mad at Chris Rock, that he slapped him so hard. But we also want to know how he felt afterwards and in general. And also, we also want to be curious as to how Will Smith even feels now being banned from the Oscars for the next 10 years now. Because now it has been said that Will Smith is banned from the Oscars for the next 10 years. So, and also he resigned from the Oscars. So that's another thing that we want to know on how he feels about that. So this is going to be pretty interesting. I also feel like, you know what? With Will Smith getting banned from the Oscars for the next 10 years, I mean, I completely understand where Will Smith was coming from by the fact that he got to slap Chris Rock because of how awful he felt that Chris Rock got to be making fun of his wife, especially because Jada Pinkett Smith has alopecia, and he went off and called her G.I. Jane, G.I. Jane, um, Jade, Jada G, something like that. And that really is insulting, it really is. And I think that there's no doubt that Chris Rock already knew that Jada Pinkett Smith was already going through that hair condition. But unfortunately, Chris Rock, since he's a comedian, he thought that it was so easy enough for him to joke around about that. And it led to a huge fire with Will Smith going upstage to slap him. Now, I completely understand that Will Smith was coming from a situation where he was mad, but at the same time, what Will Smith did was not right. He should have never responded with violence at all. If it wasn't for him responding with violence, he would have never gotten banned from the Oscars, and he would have never gone through this whole entire controversy that he's already been put in. I mean, yes, of course, Will Smith is already, making the big money already of because of the publications that are being, said about him. Because I mean, the more publications are being made, the more money Will Smith is making. But at the same time, it's not a good image for Will Smith now that he is being talked about so much about this controversial slap, especially because there's not a lot of Chris Rock fans out there that are already going up against Will Smith, saying so much mean things about Will Smith for what he did to Will Smith, for what he did to Chris Rock. So that's what I also think. And also, I just feel like, you know what? I feel like as men in the entertainment business, not just women, but also men need to really calm down. They need to be more mature about situations like this. Not make fun of one another, not make fun of one another's wives, not respond to violence, or not respond with violence. So that's another thing that I have to say about this whole entire situation. But I will really have to see what is going to go on in the new season of Bread Table Talk, which is going to be premiering on Facebook Watch tomorrow, Wednesday. So please stay tuned for that, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be juicy. All right, so now from Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith and Red Table Talk to now more hot tea. So now let's talk about Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama on daughters Sasha and Malaya as adults. Well, apparently Michelle Obama got to be on a recent episode of the Ellen DeGeneres show, and the former First Lady of the United States talks about saying bye to her now grown daughters Sasha 20 and Malaya 23 after they both moved out of the family home again. Well, this is what Michelle got to say. It was an extra special treat to have them that little bit of time. Michelle Obama tells DeGeneres about her family's time in quarantine together. And then she went on and said, because being with them as adults, it's fun. I love them at every age. Now she adds, Sasha is in college and they're doing well. They are just amazing young women. Obama says that having women is scary and noted that her girls are a long way from fangirling over the Jonas Brothers. It's all about boyfriends. Well, who wouldn't fangirl over the Jonas Brothers? Those guys are hot. But anywho, um, so she went on and said they love the Jonas Brothers. She quips, now they are bringing grown men home. Before it was just pop bands. Now they have boyfriends and real lives. Now, Michelle got to share her daughters are the result of the values she instilled in them from the time they took on their roles as first daughters until it was time to leave the comfort of their home. Now, Michelle got to say, I listened to what my mother said when she was raising us. The becoming author says, she said, I'm not raising babies, I'm raising real people to be out in the world. And I kept that in mind with the girls. So then Michelle Obama also got to say they wouldn't always be in that bubble of the White House, so they had to learn to make their beds, they had to learn how to drive, they had to learn how to be compassionate, independent, responsible people so that they entered the world as responsible, compassionate, capable people, and I think they are amazing young women because of that. End quote. Okay, So it sounds to me that Michelle Obama is a very dedicated mother, aside from being the former First Lady. And I can definitely tell that Michelle Obama, not only is she a caring mother, but also she is very acknowledgeable of her kids. She is always there for her kids, and she is also a very good role model for her kids for being the mature, classy woman that she has been, especially when she was the First Lady. Now, I also feel like Michelle Obama is also wanting the best for for her two daughters. She wants them to have a good education, have a good job, have a good life, and also have a good husband and have a good family in the near future. Because that's what it really is sounding like to me from Michelle Obama's viewpoint here. And also, I feel like Michelle Obama, she is also so on the lookout of her daughters to see if their daughters are really going to go in the right track in life and not end up in the bad track in life. Because, I mean, I completely understand Michelle Obama. It could be a nerve wracking, it could be very tough that as a mother, you are really having to see if whether or not your children are going to be choosing that right track or not. Because there are a lot of times that there are children out there that they don't make it to the right track and they make it to the wrong track where they end up making bad friends, they end up making bad choices, and God knows what else. And that's something that Michelle Obama is really fearing of and does not want with her two daughters. So, Michelle Obama, you are the best, I can tell. Now, I also feel like Michelle Obama, she also is definitely looking out for her two daughters, especially now that they are young, grown women. 21 and 23, that is definitely something right there, and especially because, I mean, they are in the ages where they can now drink. And that's something that I'm sure Michelle is definitely cautious of. Um, but you know what? Michelle Obama, she is also a wonderful author. She writes one of the best books ever. And I think that Michelle Obama, she is very expressful for also, putting her life out there in her books and having us know how she's been as a mom and how she's been as a wife and how she's been in general. So I love Michelle Obama. She is one of the deepest, most honest first ladies we have ever had. So that's my opinion on this from Michelle Obama. All right. So now from Michelle Obama to now more hot tea. So now let's talk about the real world star Danny Roberts. Well, real world star Danny Roberts reflects on life after New Orleans and getting closure. All right, so over the course of the real world's 30-year history, Danny Roberts is one of the more memorable roommates to appear on the MTV reality franchise. And now, 22 years later, he's reuniting with his New Orleans castmates David Tokyo Broom, Melissa Beck, Jamie Murray, Matt Smith, Julie Stoffer, and Kelly Wolf for season 3 of The Real World Homecoming on Paramount Plus. And while on New Orleans, which ran for 23 episodes in 2000, Roberts was a fresh-faced 22-year-old gay man from Georgia. As one of 7 roommates from very different backgrounds, Roberts faced many opposing views over who he was as a member of the LGBTQ community from the Mormon Church, which Stauffer was a part of at the time, and Smith, who was a devout Catholic with a narrow point of view on issues of gender and sexuality. Well, during his time in the House, Roberts was in a relationship with an officer named Paul Dill, whose face had to be blurred out during filming to protect his identity. He also made history by inadvertently becoming the literal face of President Bill Clinton's Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy that allowed closeted members of the LGBTQ community to serve in the military unless they were outed. Now, although Roberts' relationship with Dill generated headlines and sparked conversations about the controversial policy as well as much needed LGBTQ rights, the time New Orleans was on the air and the years after proved to be difficult for the two. I lived as a recluse for a few years after that. If you saw the original season, I was dating someone who was in the military at the time and couldn't be out, Robert says, explaining that his face was blurred out so his identity remained hidden. All right. So this is a huge issue here with sexuality, in my opinion, especially since this show was also out back in the year 2000. I feel like a lot of people at the time, they did not accept the LGBTQ community at all. And I feel like it was just something that really had to be discussed and it had to be expressed at the time just to let people know that it is okay to be gay, it is okay to be lesbian, it is okay to be bisexual, and all that. It's okay, you know? And I also feel like in this situation, we as people, especially now, we have to be we have to stop being so judgmental towards the LGBTQ community. We have to stop. We need to just be mature, friendly, and kind to these people because these people are just like us. We need equality here, okay? We need equality. Now, another thing that I have to say about this is there is a situation here where I feel like the fact that one of the actors got their face blurred out, I feel like that's kind of discriminative in my opinion. I feel like they should have shown the person's face. Like, yes, they wanted to protect the person's identity, but at the same time, I don't think there's anything wrong with showing the person's face, especially if the person is playing a gay person in a series, because we need to teach these people that it is okay to show off your face regardless of your sexuality. That is what I think here. And you know what? I feel like there is a reason to why, so many people are fighting, for these gay rights, lesbian rights. There's a reason because enough is enough of the discrimination here. It really. Um, so that's what I think about this whole entire situation here. And um, so yeah, so that's what I think here. Um, that's what I definitely think here. But anyway, I think that, you know what, this show is going to be a success in the franchise, and I feel like things are going to turn out well, and I think that there's going to be more acceptance within this show now that we are in 2022. That's all I have to say. Now, do not miss this show. This show is going to be good. I'm pretty sure. So, do not miss Real World, and it's going to be on MTV real soon. The franchise. All right. So now, from that to now, more hot tea, obviously. So now, let's talk about Julia Roberts. Julia Roberts explains why she hasn't done a romantic comedy in years. Well, Julia Roberts has a big year of film and TV ahead of her, and while she is set to star alongside George Clooney in the upcoming romantic comedy Ticket to Paradise, the actress has been picky about the roles she's taken on in the past 2 decades. Well, in an interview with the New York Times, Roberts dished on why it's been years since fans have seen her iconic smile grace the big screen in any rom-coms. Well, she went on and said that people sometimes misconstrue the amount of time that's gone by that I haven't done a romantic comedy as my not wanting to do one. And then she went on and said that if I had read something that I thought was that Notting Hill level of writing or my best friend's wedding level of madcap fun, I would do it. That's what she went on and said. Now, um, Roberts, who also stars alongside Sean Penn in Star's upcoming series Gaslit, gushed over both experiences, saying that to go from John and Martha Mitchell in Gaslit to play these scenes with the greatest dramatic actor, I think of my generation and Sean Penn, and then run around Australia with George playing these very funny scenes, I'm living my acting dreams. Now, Roberts' decision to step back from filming for a while was also due in part to her most important role of all time, being mom to her 3 children: 17-year-old twins, daughter Hazel, and son Phineas, and 14-year-old son Henry. Okay, so this is what I personally think. I think that Julia Roberts can take all the time that she needs in order to be a mom, in order to, be the role of a mom. And also, I feel like the movie industry isn't going anywhere. She can take 10, 20 years without doing a film and then come back, you know. And also, Julia Roberts, I mean, the woman is a millionaire. She is rich. I mean, she doesn't even need to work anyways. That's all I have to say here. And also, I feel like we as people, I mean, yes, we really want to see these movie actors work so hard, and we want to see them back in the movies, and we love them to death and all that. But at the same time, we as fans, we need to completely understand that these movie actors are human beings before just being celebrities, and they want to have time for themselves, and they want to have time for their kids, especially when they're parents. And also, these movie actors, they need time to take a deep breath, period. Because being in the movie business is not very easy, first and foremost. I mean, you're stuck in a set around so many directors, so many scripts, so many um, actors, especially, and it's just so intense just to handle and to go through in a life like that. So that's the reason to why I feel like when it comes to being in the movie business, it's really important that you take a break, especially if you're a singer or if you're a TV actor or whatnot, or a TV host like me, you know? So that's what it is here. So Julia Roberts, she can take the time that she needs before she goes deeply into the movies. But anyway, there have been many situations though where movie actors, they would definitely not stop working, and they would definitely miss out on living their lives with their kids, or living their lives with their friends, or with their brothers and sisters or cousins. And then later on they regret it, and they're like, oh my God, well, why didn't I ever take a break from being in the movies or doing other things? And then unfortunately, what ends up happening when these actors don't take a break is that these actors, they end up also um, doing drugs, they end up going nuts, they end up seeing a therapist, or God knows, maybe they end up seeing a psychiatrical because of how bad things could get with them mentally and emotionally by working too much. Because working too much, especially in the music business, or in the film business, or in the TV business, it could also affect people mentally. That's the thing. Not and emotionally, not just the fact that they are missing out on living their lives, but also affect them mentally and physically and emotionally. So that's what I personally think. So that's my opinion on Julia Roberts. All right, so now from Julia Roberts to now, more hot tea. So now let's talk about Katy Perry. So as we all know, Katy Perry is on the hit show American Idol, and Katy Perry reflects on public spats with fellow American Idol judges as season 20 finds top 14. All right, so all on the same page, Katy Perry was seeing eye to eye with her fellow judges during the first live round of American Idol season 20 yesterday, Monday, which the songstresses admitted was a nice change. Now, Perry spoke to ET's Matt Cohen on the carpet at the Desert 5 spot in Hollywood after Monday's new episode, where the season's top 20 were whittled down to the top 14 based on performances and voting. 10 contestants were automatically saved, while the remaining 10 were in the danger zone and singing their hearts out for one of the 4 spots awarded by the judges. Now, Perry went on and said, we shared our 4, and it was unanimous, which is great. And then she went on and said, because this season has been interesting in that we've had some real public spats over a few contestants, like Sam Moss and Grace Franklin. Now, Perry has worked alongside fellow judges Lionel Richie and Luke Bryan since season 16, when Idol was revived and moved her over to ABC from Fox. And the singer said that this season has seen her clash with them a bit more than ever before. Well, Perry admitted that when it came Brian and Richie's thoughts on a few contestants this season, she didn't really agree with them at all. And she went on and said that those boys, like, it's true, they may have been a little bullied by my direct black and white yes or no choices these past seasons. Um, and then she went on and said, reflecting on their more empathic disagreements. So they're like, we're not gonna take it anymore. So, anywho, um, this is what I personally think. I feel like Katy Perry and the judges, I mean, they get along pretty well. They have a really good chemistry. I've seen American Idol. And I mean, to me, it is perfectly normal that Katy Perry, Luke Bryan, Lionel Richie, they have their differences because, I mean, in life, we're all going to have differences, especially when we're in TV shows like American Idol, because we all have our different choices. We all have our different opinions on certain things, on certain contestants. It's not going to be where we're all going to agree on the same thing every single day. No. There's going to have to be something different. And plus, if the show was just about agreeing about the same thing every single time, then the show wouldn't be fun. It wouldn't be entertaining at all. So that's what I see this as. And also, I feel like as long as there isn't any fighting going on, and as long as there isn't any, attacking going on in the show, then everything should be perfectly fine. So, I mean, Katy Perry, Lionel Richie, Luke Bryan, they are phenomenal. They are icons. They are talented singers, and they belong in that show alongside with the one and only host Ryan Seacrest, who has been killing it for years, by the way, not just on American Idol. And um, so, anywho, I think that, as long as there's just a little bit of disagreeing and it's not just stuff that's going way too far, it is perfectly fine. It is perfectly fine. And I mean, I just hope the best for, the contestants that are in this show. I hope that these contestants, get to go far in life because I mean, I know that these contestants, they want to go far in life, especially with their music careers. And I also feel like these contestants, they all they want to do is just find, role models and coaches that will guide them and encourage them, just like Katy Perry and Lionel Richie and Luke Bryan have. So that's how I see this as, definitely. So yeah, that's how I see this definitely as. And I also feel like, these contestants, they also want to, feel loved and confident, especially because it could be very nerve-wracking having to be in a show like American Idol. And I feel like these three are the perfect people that could really make these contestants feel confident and feel comfortable and not feel nervous. So that's another thing that I have to say about this. So, anywho, Katy Perry, you do you. You can disagree all you want as long as there isn't no punching and attacking and cussing. All right. So now from Katy Perry and American Idol to now more hot tea. So now let's talk about Johnny Depp. All right. So Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard, a breakdown of the ongoing defamation trial. All right. So Johnny Depp is facing off against Amber Heard in a contentious legal battle where new information is coming to light and new accusations are being leveled during each day of the trial. Well, the libel lawsuit, which was first filed in 2019, kicked off on April 11th with opening statements the following day that set the tone for the tumultuous courtroom battle that was about to commence. Depp's lawyers alleged that Heard was fabricating claims to cast her ex-husband in a bad light, and Heard's lawyers accused Depp of sexual violence during their marriage, among other claims. Now, the lawsuit itself kicked off nearly 6 years after Heard first filed for divorce from Depp on May 25th, 2016, after 15 months of marriage, citing irreconcilable differences. Now, days later, Heard was granted a temporary restraining order against Depp after an incident in which Heard claims Depp physically attacked her, which Depp has long denied. Now, as part of their divorce, which was finalized in January 2017, Depp was ordered to pay her $7 million, which she chose to instead have donated to several charities. Now, but that would prove to be far from the end of the road for the former couple's legal sparring. Now, with Depp's $50 million libel lawsuit in full swing, ET is breaking down what sparked the suit and what has surfaced over the course of the courtroom battle. Now, this is what ET got to break down in. All right, so in the very beginning, the base of the lawsuit, Depp first filed his libel lawsuit against Heard in March of 2019, in response to an Heard wrote for the Washington Post in December 2018 about being the victim of domestic violence from Johnny Depp himself. Now, the article itself did not mention Depp by name. However, their contentious 2016 divorce had been in the news over the previous 2 years, which already made it obvious that she was talking about Depp. Now, in the suit, Depp claims that Heard's allegations of abuse against him were an elaborate hoax, and that Depp alleges the oath caused damage to his career. He says he was dropped from Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean franchise 4 days after the oath was published. Now, though Heard never mentioned Depp by name in the article, the suit claims that the piece depends on the central premise that Ms. Heard was a domestic abuse victim and that Mr. Depp perpetrated domestic violence against her. Now, while Depp originally filed in 2019, the subsequent coronavirus pandemic pushed the case back significantly. Now, in the opening statements, which were broadcast on Court TV, Heard's lawyer, Ben Rodenborn, claimed that Heard suffered abuse that took many forms, including physical, emotion, and psychological. Now, the headline for the online version of Heard's oath read Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change, and so forth. So, anywho, this is what I personally think. I feel like this is going very far, this whole entire lawsuit situation. I don't know what to say about Johnny Depp, if he really is an abuser or if he's really someone that is really horrible enough to face the law in this situation. But what I can say is this. If this is really true that Johnny Depp really emotionally, physically abused his own ex-wife, I feel like he deserves to be held accountable for his own actions. And I feel like Johnny Depp, he should have never done what he did to her. He should have just been more clean, more mature, more nice, and more gentleman towards her. And also his acting career wouldn't go down the toilet because of situations like this, you know? And also, I just feel like it's a huge pain just having to, you know, deal with the husband that is just doing so much wreck to your own life. That's how I see things as in my personal opinion. In my personal opinion, that's what I think. So, that's what I think if things are true. But if things aren't true, and this is all being made up from Amber Heard, and Johnny is right that this is just all a bunch of BS, then, I mean, I feel like Amber Heard is just doing it for the publicity, and she's not really doing it because she really wants to be safe and, you know, have this man held accountable, you know? Because unfortunately, there have been many cases where nowadays, many women or many people in general, they falsely accuse so-and-so and so-and-so of this and that, and it just goes ridiculously bad. But anywho, so that's my take on that. But in life, the truth will come to light, and in this case, it'll definitely come to light whether or not Amber Heard is really telling the truth or if Johnny Depp is telling the truth. So, I don't know. But another thing that is also being said is that Johnny Depp's sister also had to meddle into this situation to testify in this case. And by the way, not only is she his sister, but also his personal manager. Her name is Christy Dembrowski, and she was the first person, by the way, to take the stand to refute Heard's claims that Depp was abusive. According to Dembrowski, that she witnessed Depp being physically abused and hurt by their mother, and claimed that Depp swore to never perpetrate the sort of violence. She also claimed that she'd not seen a reason to believe that Depp struggled with drugs or alcohol abuse. Now, um, now, that's Johnny Depp's sister's side of the story. Now, here's another thing that is also being said from Johnny Depp's sister. She's also saying that, however, on cross-examination, Dombrowski struggled to reconcile her defense of Depp's mental health with text messages she sent in which she expressed concern over his use of pain pills. One text sent to her read, "I love him so much, but he needs help." Dombrowski claimed that was specifically in connection to his dependence on pain medication. Now, Dombrowski also claimed that Heard once called Depp while married an old fat man. Dombrowski claims that Heard got mad when Depp was offered advertising work for Dior and allegedly told the actor they're about class and style and you don't have style. Now, this is very, very intense here. Now, even Depp's neighbor got to meddle into the situation too, and he just said that he got to just see two arguments from the couple, and that once in person and once over the phone. So, anywho, I don't know. This is pretty suspicious here. But you know what? If Johnny Depp is really that kind of man that really is who is being said he is, then all I have to say is, Amber Heard, just stay away from him. Find yourself a new man that will value you and appreciate you and love you for who you are and not abuse you, and also be in peace with your own self and seek therapy if you're traumatized from any of the situations that you went through with Johnny Depp, because therapy is well needed and it is well assisted for a lot of people that are going through trauma. So seek help, please, if this is really true that Johnny Depp is really the abuser and is really the villain in this story. That's all I have to say. So anywho, this is all I have to say about the whole entire Johnny Depp situation here. And yeah, so anyway, from Johnny Depp to now, more hot tea. So now, let's talk about Nicolas Cage. So Nicolas Cage shares what he misses about the early days of parenthood as he prepares for a new baby. Alright, so Nicolas Cage is ready to hear the sounds of little footsteps pitter-pattering around his home once more. Well, he apparently is expecting a child with his wife, Rico Shibata, at the Los Angeles premiere of his new film, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, on yesterday, Monday night, where Cage shared what he's most looking forward to about becoming a dad once again. Well, he got to say this: "I miss it all. I miss watching a child discover things for the first time, who is already a dad to Weston, 31 by the way, and Carl L, 16. And the way the sunlight shines through a leaf, taking them to have a lobster dinner and have them freak out at the table. What the heck is daddy eating? What is that thing? It looks like a monster, like a giant bug." All that stuff. That's what he got to say. Now, I miss going to the toy store. I miss singing lullabies. I miss rocking chairs. He continued, "I was really hoping for another child. My boys are all grown up, so this will be great." End quote. All right, so this is what I personally think. I feel like, you know what, Nicolas Cage, I mean, if he really is feeling up to being a dad once again, and he feels mentally and emotionally prepared to be a dad once again, then what the heck? He can have himself another kid, and especially since he is able to take care of that kid. Now, if he was someone that isn't able to have another kid again, and he isn't ready, and he is just not really feeling it to be a dad once again, then you know what? I mean, he's really gonna have to try at least hard to be a dad again, because when you have a child and you're bringing a child into the world, especially, you really need to be fully prepared to have a child. You cannot just be 50% ready. You have to be 100% ready to be a child. I mean, to have a child, because children, not only do they need the love and the care from the parents, but also they need guidance from the parents, and they need um, to be prepared. The parents need to teach their kids to be prepared for the real world as well, so that way these kids could also be able to know what they're doing in the future. So that is what I personally think, in my personal opinion, um, about him being a dad again. That's what I personally think. So, but congrats to Nicolas Cage though on being a dad again. I think that he is going to kill it, especially since I'm pretty sure, is going to be prepared to be a dad again. And let's just see what the future holds for him for being a dad once again. All right. So now that is it for today's show, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of the Jose Show. And also, please make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is in the link in my bio on Instagram. And also, please make sure to follow me on Instagram and on Twitter. And also, I'll be back with more hot tea next time on the Jose Show. Till next time, and have a wonderful day.